Hey guys, Scott here. Have not been feeling super well the past couple of days, so I thought I would do a very quick little comedy video here. And it's funny that I just made a video about how saying that Reddit is actually not as bad as people give it, shit for. And really, the official forums and the Steam forums are the real source of the cringy shit. And so I thought I would show you an example of some of that. And here is a post from the official forums that actually got a lot of upvotes, and there were people agreeing with them. So this is something I had to comment on because it's possibly one of the dumbest things I've ever read in my entire life, and I thought you might get a kick out of it. I've inspected the elements and, edited the name. I'm not a shaman. I just changed the name to asterisks to block it out. I believe the post itself has been completely deleted as well, so there should be no trace of this. To the person that made the post, if you're watching this, I have nothing against you. I'm not calling you stupid or anything like that, but the words that you said and the arguments that you said are extremely stupid. So I hope you don't take personal offense. I don't mean anything by that. I just want to generate a bit of laughter from the ridiculous things that you have said, because frankly, they are pretty ridiculous. There's definitely a hate boner thing for streamers on really a lot of platforms for almost every game. For some reason, people just don't like streamers. Some of it's jealousy. Some of it is because the streamers themselves are assholes and they have a way of making their followers assholes as well because they want to mimic their behavior. Some people take the words of streamers as gospel, and that could be annoying, but that's less on the streamer themselves. So this is really a universal thing and not so much about DBD itself. I get the hatred for streamers. Not that I agree with it, but I understand why some people can feel that way. So the first part of this guy's post is not even something I agree with, but at least I can kind of sympathize with. Basically, he's asking for anonymity in all of the games that, you might get featured on, because when someone, if I'm streaming the game and I go against people, then their screen name or whatever name they're using is visible, and thus they are prone to receiving shit if they act like an ass, or I do anything that indicates that people should send them shit, which obviously as a streamer you should never do. But that is the main thing that they're saying, that they're not technically anonymous and they kind of want to be. So I can understand that. Now, he goes forward to say that we should only be showing people's names if we get consent from the people in the game, which is ridiculous. We can't get the consent from every person in every game that we go against across all games in existence. That's physically impossible. That will never happen. The thing is, though, you have to realize when you sign up to play an online game, you're putting yourself out there. It's almost like going out into the real world. If you walk outside and someone has a camera filming some, bushes or something like that, and you walk by it, you can't just DMCA their video now. You're in basically a public area, and you can't your rights are not being infringed or anything like that. So that already doesn't really add up. Now, I understand, adding a streamer mode is one thing, like making it so that you can block out people's names. And I think that would be fine for a streamer setting. I wouldn't mind using that. I don't care about the names of the people that I go against. And it would save me the 1 out of 100 times, one of my asshole viewers goes and shit talks them for sucking or something like that. Sure, I could see that being fine, and that's okay. But you are not entitled to that. Your personal information is not being leaked when you go online with a screen name. That's just a screen name. You have no identifying features whatsoever from that name. I can't find out who you are, where you live, or anything about that. The only way that would happen is if you use your real name as your screen name, which you'd have to be a fucking idiot to do. So I don't necessarily agree that you should really censor this stuff, because as soon as you sign up for an online game, I haven't read the EULA of every game, but basically, you're not anonymous on there, because you're not giving your real information. You are anonymous. You're not giving your real information. You're using a pseudonym, so you're not being infringed upon in any way. But I understand adding a streamer mode, block out names. I'm for that. That's fine. I just think the way it was written, where it says you have to request consent from all of the people that will like that is a little ridiculous. So the next part is the thing I'm just going to straight up make fun of, because I'm just going to read it word for word because it's art. Lack of compensation. A game of DBD requires both a killer and survivors. There are some DBD content creators who make a living streaming this game. It also means they are dependent on the other side, survivor or killer, to generate their content for channels or streams. None of the other players are offered any compensation, even though they are necessary for the content creator to generate revenue and produce their content. If these players are necessary for the production of profitable content, I think it is only fair that they receive a portion of the streamer's compensation. So let's tackle that. Let's tackle that argument. So someone brought up a very good analogy, a guy by the name of Ian on Twitter, and I wanted to basically say the exact analogy he said. This is basically like this is like garbage men expecting like you should have to pay people that throw away trash, because without trash there would be no garbage men, and so they wouldn't be able to be garbage men if there's no trash. So everyone that throws shit away deserves to be paid a portion of the garbage man's pay. Which, if you put it like that, it's just like, that's the dumbest fucking argument I've ever. Just even the sheer, like, even ethically, if this was a sound argument, which it's not, it's incredibly stupid. Even ethically, if it was okay, imagine the logistics of having to do that. You would have to have every game ever made linked to the streamer's Twitch account, linked to their Tax Central on Amazon, and then it would have to deduct an amount based on the amount they made for that section of the game, based on the, like, this is no possible way anything like that could ever happen or would ever happen in a billion years. That is impossible. And also, like, the most entitled shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, I get disliking streamers, and that's fine, but if you think you should be paid because you were in their game, like, you didn't do anything. It's their gameplay. You just happen to be in the game. If you weren't there, someone else will be in the game for you. You are not entitled to shit. And the fact that this guy posted that and people agreed with it and, like, upvoted it, I just, oh my God, it hurt my head. I just had to share it. Because what the fuck, man? Again, no offense to the guy that made the thread, but you just said some really stupid shit.